good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Hour number 59. It's Deanna here. I am just going to log in here, get us updated. Hopefully I'm in the right group. There we go. Oops, wrong one. 1 second. There we go. Perfect. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are going to be playing with paper roses today. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm just going to get kind of tidied up here. This has been a very, very popular crafty hour, to say the least. Pardon me, I still have my morning froggies in my throat. We have more of this product coming. I know that quite a few of you are still waiting on some of this. Let me see if my light is on. Yeah, I bet it was on. Got to play around with the light. Good morning, Courtney. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on. I know a lot of you have been asking, is there more product coming? And the answer is yes. We actually have another order that is on its way. So if you are still waiting for anything from Clipper Street, do know we have been ordering like crazy. And it does come from Australia. So, you know, it does take a little bit of time to get here, but we do have more coming. So we appreciate your patience and thank you so much. I was hoping to have an extra set of die cuts to work with you today on them, but unfortunately, again, we are out of them. So I don't have them. Let me see. Now, I have 3 cards for you today. And in your card package, which I don't have one, I just have my leftovers. In your card package, you actually had some pictures of some cards that were pre-made that you could just copy them. But I like to change things up. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't even look at that paper. I just did these totally from whatever I saw. So they're going to be very, very different than what you have. The good news is you are going to have some papers left over, probably some die cuts left over. So you could go back and just copy those ones once you finish with Courtney's Crafty Hour this afternoon. So it's going to give you some options, some more ideas to create with. Now, we are going to do 3 cards. I did give you homework. I meant to bring my homework sheet in here, but I forgot that. So we're just going to wing it with that. And I'm going to walk you through what you need to grab and pull and make. So I think I will get started. It is a few minutes after. Good morning, everybody, and thank you again for joining me. We're going to play with the Paper Roses Bees and Butterfly line. And this is the first card that we are going to create together. Now, these cards are super easy. I did not go crazy with them. They are just really pretty cards. Nothing challenging with them whatsoever. I'm going to say that these are super easy, which is good. Sometimes that's what we need, something that, you know, we don't need all the flips and folds and etc. Sometimes we do. So in the homework, and let's hope I have all of mine, I did tell you to grab a card, and this card is a 5 1/4 square card. So what that means is it was 10 1/2, and then we scored it at 5 1/4. And being a square card, you can have that card open with the fold at the top or with the fold at the side. It is totally your choice. So you're going to have your card, grab that. And then I did tell you to grab a piece of gold foil. It can be the original gold foil we used to have. It could be the Miri gold foil. You don't even have to put gold foil if you don't want to. And we wanted that gold foil piece to measure. I'm going to measure it on the back side. 5 1/8. So that is just under 5 1/4. And that was part of your homework, was to grab that so that when you put it onto your card, you get that little white border all the way around. Now, I also mentioned a circle that we're going to need, and I use the lacy circles. A little bit about this one. Let me just pull this in. This was discontinued from Spellbinders years and years and years ago. I asked them last year to bring it back from the vault for Clipper Street. And subsequently, we also have given some of these to Courtney. So if you do need them, she will have them. We are currently only selling it, pardon me, my frog, as a bundle. It comes with the squares that match. And I love that little lacy eyelet. It's so, so pretty. You may have this from years and years ago. I think they discontinued it in 2012 or 2013. But just like Tim Holtz, we brought it back from the vault, and it's very limited. So if afterwards you're like, I really like that one, and you haven't got it yet, please call either of us and we can let you know if we still have some. When they're gone, they are gone. We only had so many redone, so then they're gone. So that is what I cut my circle out of. Any circle will do. You could also use the tonic scallop circles. They're beautiful. Any scallop will do. We want one that's going to fit this circle. And this circle is about 3 inches. So in your homework, I said about 3 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to put that off to the side. That we'll come back to in a minute. And then I also, one last thing I told you to have for your homework was a gold strip that was 1 5/8, so just over 1 1/2, and about 5 1/8. So we'll put that off to the side too. Okay, folks, let's start. We're going to take our gold and we are going to glue that on. Yeah, I was very happy. It was actually started, gosh, even before I went to Spellbinders last June, and I had reached out and said, you know, I want some of these good ones to come back. And I know this one is one of Diane's favorites as well. If you were in Maker Mania, she used it quite a bit on some of her samples. And we were very fortunate that they would remake it for us. The only caveat is you have to order a lot, as you can imagine. When they're making something just for you, you have to order quite a bit. Okay, so we have this on there. And again, you can have that card open either way. We're going to cover this, so it's just a good way to save some of our paper. So we're going to put that off to the side. And then I want you to go into your pattern papers, and you have quite a few of each of them. I want you to go into your pattern papers, and I want you to find this one. Okay, this one has the honey pots. It's got a big gold flower. If it's easier for you to look at the back, it is all of the, almost like a little honeycomb pattern on the back. So sometimes it is easier to look on the back side. So have a look for this one. And this is what we are going to use. And I'll give you a moment to find that one. Sometimes I truly feel that if I just flip all my papers over and look at the back side, it is a little bit easier. You should have a few of these as well. I think most of the patterns, not all of them, but I think most of them, you did get 3 of each. Okay, now we're going to cut a piece of this to include that flower. Let me show you here. That's what it's going to look like to include that flower onto our card. As you can see, I'm going to take a little bit off the top as well, because then I'm going to get more of the yellow. So I'm going to walk you through cutting this. The measurement is going to be 5 by 5. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to turn the paper upside down. Okay, so grab your honey paper, turn it upside down, and I'm going to do 5 inches. So I'm going to be cutting off these little honey pots. I'm going to take it to 5, and that should cut right on that border, which is fantastic. We can use this for another card. We're not going to use it today, but I'm going to set it off to the side. And upside down, we're going to do it at 5 inches. That is the first cut we're going to make. Now, as I mentioned, I want a little off the top, so I'm just going to cut right at the top of those petals, okay, right into that yellow. Maybe we can say 5 3/4 will be our first cut. So that's going to take about 1/4 of an inch off. See what I did there? So if you take it the bottom to 5 3/4 and just cut off about 1/4 of an inch. I might even take a little more off. You know why? I don't want that white spot in the corner. So I'm going to get rid of that. That's going to bug me. It might not bug you, but I'm going to do that so that's what my paper looks like. Just take a little bit more off. It is total preference. You don't have to do that. It's probably me being more picky than I need to be, which is often the case. Okay, so now I've got the gold going right up into the corner. And now I'm going to take that gold and I'm going to take it to 5 inches and cut off the bottom. So then I'll have a piece that's 5 by 5. Okay, so we had to do a few cuts to get there, but that's okay. I now have a piece 5 by 5. And this is where you will need to decide how you want your card to open. So position it the way you would like. I'm going to have it open with the fold at the top. Okay, so like that. But if you want it to open from the fold at the side, just go ahead and rotate it. Totally fine to do that. Okay, so I'm going to glue that on. It should fit to show you that gold all the way around. And then I'm just going to put some glue on here. I find that these cards are very simple because it's the images that have done all the work. It's just such beautiful, beautiful paper from Australia. I just love it. They always do such a great job with the colors, I think. Got some good companies over there in Australia. All right, so there we go. We've got that paper. Glue it on however you like. Sideways or up and down, your choice. All right. Next paper I'm going to get you to find is this beautiful paper. I love this one. On the back side is the stripies, gold stripies. So I'll leave that there for you to see. Once you've got that glued on, go back through your pattern papers. And on the front, it has florals, but it also has some butterflies. And then the back side is the stripey. Okay, so go ahead and find that one. And I do believe that some of these papers we may use down the road. So I'm going to keep this one handy too, just in case we do. I can't remember. Now what we're going to do is cut out this strip of butterflies. And if you look at your strip, you're going to see that there is actually a pale yellow border on both sides. We're going to use that as well. That gives us an extra layer without giving us any extra work. So if you look at my card here, you can see that I've got the butterflies, and then on each side I have that pale yellow stripe. So I'm going to put this into my trimmer, up and down tall, and I'm just going to line it up right on that border, and I'm going to cut and put that off to the side. This is a great piece. Then I'm going to slide it over and once again just line it right up, and I'll stick this off to the side, and this is what we will have. It's just going to look like that. Okay, so go ahead and trim that down. Okay, and then we will trim this further. So again, if you're looking at some of the card samples that are on your paperwork, which I don't think I even brought mine. I literally threw it away because I'm like, nope, I want to create from scratch. Yep, I threw it away. You'll have lots of ideas of how to use these strips. They're on almost all of the papers. They just make it really easy. Now we're going to take this to 5 inches as well. So go ahead and take it to 5 inches. We'll put that little piece away. We may need to trim this, but we'll have a look. Nope, we're going to trim our gold. So we're going to attach it onto our gold. I want a little border of gold on each side, and I want them to be the same length. So you can see that right now, to me, that's a big border. You might be okay with that, but I'm going to trim mine down. So I'm going to glue them together, then I'll trim. If you prefer to trim first, you absolutely can. It is just a preference. So I'm going to glue it onto the gold. There is not going to be any borders on the short ends. So I will trim it. I'm just going to glue them together first. And then we'll put this like this, and I'll trim it. We want them to be 5 inches, same length. Oops, I got a little glue seeping out. And then I'm going to take a little bit off of here. It's not quite dry, but let's see. Maybe I need a little bit more. Better to take a little than too much. I'm going to say it's probably going to be about one and a half. There, that's perfect. Okay. So I'll give you a moment to trim that. I have them the same length. Okay, so no gold showing on these short ends. Got a little bit of gold there. I'm going to hide that. And then I've got gold skinny border on the top and skinny border on the bottom. Okay, and then go ahead and trim, because yours is probably a smidge too big like mine. Okay, and then we're going to attach this. It's going to go across our card. I am going to come up right about there, probably about 1/2 inch from the very, very bottom. I'm not measuring. I'm going to use that little bloom there kind of as a guide, but about 1/2 inch. And I'm going to foam tape that. Okay, so I'm going to put some foam tape on the back and put that down. Getting low on my foam tape. I've been working on my 3D spring class, and as you all know, we use a lot of foam tape in that class, so I'm getting low again. Okay, is it possible to still order this paper? Mary Ann, yes it is. I have nobody watching the video right now, so if you email us, langley@clipperstreet.com, we will put you in line for that. We'll check and see if we have any, but I have nobody watching the video to do that right now. Let's see. There we go. All right, so go ahead and attach that with the foam tape. And the papers that we're using today are actually a 6x8 paper. 6x8. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. And I want you to find your die cuts. Now you have 4 sheets of die cuts, and a lot of them are very, very interchangeable. You can see I've used a lot of them, but a lot of them are very interchangeable. So I'll show you what I used, and you might want to use that one, or you might want to use something different. I will be using something different only because I don't have any extras of these, but they are all interchangeable. So choose your circle. For this one, I chose the bright yellow blooms because I really like the way that one worked with this bright yellow in the corner. So that's the one I chose. Again, I don't have any of that one, so I need to choose a different one. So I'm going to choose, I think, this one. But choose whichever makes your heart happy. They all will work. And the beautiful thing is they're all the same size, which is, again, fantastic. Yep, Amanda, you just need to reach out via email, please. And then we can get you in line. Don't trust me. I have a skid in the back that I'm going to go receive right after, and I guarantee I will forget. So email us and we can take care of you, or phone us. Phoning is always great too. Now I'm going to foam tape it to the circle. And what you'll see is the die cut is a little bit bigger, but what that does is it gives us the lacy edge around it instead of giving us the solid part of the circle as well, which I really like. I like having that little lace showing. So I'm going to foam tape mine. If you don't want to foam tape it, you can glue it. That's, of course, always optional. You don't need a huge amount. And we're just going to put it right in the center. And that little laciness is going to pop out all the way around. Isn't that just beautiful? Now you know why I asked them to remake that die. It's just stunning. Okay? And we're going to, I'm just going to give you an idea where we're going to go. We're going to attach this right about here. And again, I'm going to do some foam tape. But what I'm going to need to do is double foam tape at the top and single at the bottom. So in order to do that, I am going to take my circle and flip it. Okay, make sure that if you're using the flowers, you've got it the way you've got it, and flip it like that. And then I know that single foam tape goes along the bottom. Okay, so I'll double check. There it is, sitting properly. Single at the bottom. And then with my top, I'm going to take it and fold a piece in half, just like that, so it's double. And I'm going to put it at the top. I'm going to double check, double at the top, single at the bottom. Okay, everybody good with that? I'll give you a second to do that. Double at the top, single at the bottom. And then we're going to attach it right about like that. Okay, I didn't take it right to the very, very edge because we are going to put some flowers on there. You probably used the one that I used on my original card, which is the nice yellow blossom one. I do not have that one left anymore, so I'm just going to use this one. Everybody okay? This one's almost done. Almost. Okay, I'm going to find which... I think it was this one. Okay, so on your die cut sheet with the big bumblebee and the words, "You are my sunshine," down right here in the bottom, you have a beautiful floral. It is this one right here. Let me just double check. Yep, that's where it came from. It has the 3 little gold blossoms there. Go ahead and take that one out. I am going to use a different one, but the different one is a little big. I would recommend you use this one. I used one floral, which gives Courtney quite a few florals to play with. And we're going to put that right down on the bottom. So let me show you this one. I'm going to put some foam tape. It's going to go in the bottom left of that circle. So for that, I'm going to take some foam tape, and I'm just going to put the foam tape right where I want it, right on my circle. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one just like that. Okay, yours will be slightly different, a little bit smaller. It'll fit probably a little bit better. Okay, everybody so far so good? All right, let's see if I can find the little butterfly on this one. So on this die cut sheet, this has all the flying critters. It also will have your big floral. Right down here, there is a baby white butterfly. Go ahead and remove that butterfly. I'm going to take the side butterfly. Now, what you're going to notice is that this butterfly, there's a reason why I chose it over all the others. This butterfly is going to match your butterfly paper. Okay, so that's why I chose it. I'm going to take a different one. I'm going to put a pop dot behind it. and we're going to put it right in the top. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, again, my original is just going to go right there. Now you see that that butterfly matches the paper. Pop it up. You can fluff the wings, of course. Mine, I cannot because mine is a side one. Doesn't fluff quite as well. We probably could, but you know, might not fluff quite as well. Now, the last thing we're going to do to this card is we're going to look at all the greetings and look at all the greetings. I mean, there are so many. Feel better soon. Congrats. Cheers. Thanks so much. Thinking of you. Oh my gosh. So just look at them all. Sending lots of love. There's just so many. So on this one, I did thanks so much. Choose whichever one you want. I'm just grabbing one. I'm going to do one that says thinking of you. Grab whichever one you want. And I'm going to go double high with this. Now you can just go single, but I'm going to go double, just a little piece. And I am going to put it over top of the center of the flower. You may not want to. I found that this was a little dark, so I'm just going to cover it up. But if you want to put it down here, of course, you absolutely can. I'm going to put it right like that. And of course, you can always go back and add some gems, some gold dots. You know I'm a fan of the gold dots. So this would be a great one to add gold dots to. And that card is done. Super easy. I'll bring in my original, which will look a little bit more like yours. Super easy. And we are done. Card 1. All right, we'll move on to card number 2. Everybody good? That one is good. I love it. I love the colors. I also love that they're die cuts. Now that you have it in front of you, you're going to see that they've already put that glossy accent on top, a little bit of this varnish, which just pops those die cuts beautifully. Beautifully. Okay, we ready for card number 2? I'm going to clean up my space. I'm going to just trim this off so I don't stress anyone out with a different measurement. And we're going to go to this one. Okay. Now, I know with this one, it was, we're having trouble getting that holly green. We did get a very large shipment of the holly green foil, but we still have a list that is as long as my leg. And they are trying to get some from Hunky Dory. So if you don't have the green foil, of course, feel free to use gold or go into your stash. When you guys buy those mixed packs that Courtney and I sell that are the Miri mix packs, I will tell you a little secret. I buy every single one. Even though I have all the foils, I buy every single one because each of those packs always has different foil colors in there. And if you go in through that stash, you will be bound to find some in there. Now with this, I had you get an A2 card, okay, which is this one here. A2 is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I did say it could be top folding, otherwise known as a steno card, or it could be side folding. Let me bring in a card that I have that is, I usually make top folding, as you can tell. Nope, all of these, this is funny. All of my cards are all top folding. Okay, if you have a side folding, that is okay as well. All mine are top folding. And then I told you a whole bunch of the green or whatever color you want. Okay, so gold we used in the last card. You can see that will work fine. This is 4 1/8. I'll do it on this side. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That's going to be for the front of the card. I did do another circle, as you can see, same one. Love that circle. And then you're going to have 2 pieces that are the same, 2 pieces, and they measure 2 7/8 by, I'm going to say probably around 3 1/2. And that was all part of the homework I posted. So 4 pieces of foil or paper, whatever you choose. We're going to get started. Okay, so let's take our card. Okay. And double check, make sure that your green fits or whatever. I'm going to refer to it as green. If it's your gold, that's fine too. Whatever color works, but definitely get those packs every time we show them. I just can't stress that enough because you'll use them. You will absolutely use them. I go to the shows and I actually get laughed at by the other stores. And Courtney can attest to this. I bring packs of foil. I cut them into an A2 size, and I bring a couple of every color in my pile so that I can add foil to the cards I make at the show, because they don't give them to us, right? So I customize them every time, and I bring foil with me. It's part of my supplies. But I get joked at. All right. Now I'm going to get you to find this paper. I actually want you to flip it over, and we're going to look for the wood paper. Okay, so that is the next one we're going to use. This is the front side, but we're not going to worry about the front side. I want you to look at the back side where the wood is. Okay, so find that piece. And there is a special way, oops, there is a special way that we're going to cut that. Okay, because I want you to cut it from a certain spot. Very important. Okay, so wood on one side, and that's what it's going to look like. All right. Now we're going to turn this paper also upside down. So turn it upside down, have a look at your butterflies. They should be flying on their head. That is the one we're going to use. It's going to look like this. And I want the side that's got these 3 butterflies right here. Hopefully you can see those. And we're going to cut at 4 inches. 4 inches. This piece, put aside for your next card. Okay, 4 inches. And then I'm going to turn it over because now I'm going to use the white side, or the wood side, I guess is the correct way to say it. 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to move it to 5 1/4. Cut. I'm going to chop off a little piece. I do not need that piece. So 4 by 5 1/4. Sharon, I would have to check. I don't trust my brain right now. I believe they do, but I would have to check. Give us an email or give us a phone call, even better. We can sort it out. 4 by 5 1/4. Now that should fit onto the front of our green or your gold, whichever you're using, with a little border of that foil all the way around. And we're going to glue that on. So glue it right on. Now, if you need to adjust, you absolutely can. If you need a little smaller. Thank you, Courtney, for doing that. You know, when you're in the teaching mode, sometimes you're not in the thinking of something else mode, if that makes sense. Sometimes I can walk and chew bubble gum. Sometimes I have trouble not putting 2 legs into the same pant hole. So when you got lots on your mind, sometimes I'm just best to focus on what I'm doing. Okay. So hopefully you guys are following along. This wood paper was 4 by 5 1/4. We should all be at this stage. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side, and I'm going to bring in one more paper for us to find. And I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Make sure I give you the right measurement for the next piece. Okay, so the next paper I want you to find, we've done this one, is this paper right here. On the back of it is this green pattern. Okay, again, I find it easier for you to flip it over, look at the back side. You'll be able to find it fairly quickly on the back side. We just need one of them. This is the piece we're going to be using. All right. So far, so good. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is turn this sideways so that the paper is up and down. Okay, we've got this yellow strip up and down, and we're going to be using these florals. So when you put it in, we are going to have the yellow plaid pattern on the right hand side because we're going to cut that off. We're going to get rid of it. And we're going to take it to 2 3/4. Okay, so I've got that floral lined up at 2 3/4. I am going to cut through one of those little leaves. That's okay. We're going to cut off this big pattern. So just like that, we're going to cut this off. We are going to use some of this for our next card as well. So I'm going to put that with my card number 3. So 2 3/4. And this is what it looks like. Okay. Now from this paper, we are going to cut 2 pieces. 2 pieces from either end is what we're going to do. So first side, flowers are at the top. We're going to take it to 3 1/4 and cut. That's my first piece. I'll put that off to the side. And then because I want lots of flowers, I'm actually going to rotate it and do 3 1/4 again. And that cuts off kind of the middle portion. Okay, so you're going to have this left over. I'm not going to bother keeping it. You may want to. So I now have 2 pieces that are 2 3/4 wide by 3 1/4 tall. And they should, if we did this right, fit perfect onto your paper I had you do for homework. Let's make sure. Yep, we are good. So go ahead and glue those 2 pieces together. They're just 2 little rectangles that are floral pattern. And as you know from these papers, we could have chose any of them to be. Oh, thanks, Dawn. I'm glad you could pop in for a little bit. Most appreciate. Okay, so there's one. Oops, I just put it down and got a little crooked on there. There's one. And then we'll do another one. Speaking of Crafty Hours, so we are going to go live tomorrow with a new Crafty Hour. But Cottage Garden, which is the Crafty Hour number 60, that has shipped to both Courtney and myself. That was from Hunky Dory, and we actually gave you guys first crack at it. So it wasn't available quite yet. It is now, and it has shipped. I know for us here at Clipper Street, we are expecting ours Monday afternoon. We are going to turn that around ASAP and get it out to all of you guys. So again, thank you so much for your patience with that. We chose to have one that was, you know, a little bit brand new. We do not have these stands anymore. We actually got these from a little family company in the States. They make them, and I was going to bring some more in, but since playing with that other glue, I didn't need them on the other glue, so we'll definitely look into that. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. I'm making sure I tell you the right one I put down first. I'm going to put this one down first. Okay, does it matter? No, but the reason I chose this one is see how I've got the florals kind of like this. That's what I want. I'm going to be covering the center, so I put the top right as being kind of plain, and I'm going to foam tape this one right down here in the bottom corner. I'm going to do that with foam tape. So, real quick, 'cause I'm just looking at the time here. Okay, one here and one here. It doesn't have to cover the whole thing. And we're going to put this right down, nestled into the bottom left corner, just like that. Now this one, however you want it, I think I'll do it like that, is going to go up in the top right corner. And they are going to overlap a little bit. I am only going to put foam tape at the top and down the side because I'm going to let it overlap. I did not do that one double. So foam tape across the top and then foam tape down the right-hand side. If you want to put glue in the middle, you can. I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to put something over top of that. It ain't going to go anywhere. And again, right up in that top corner so that these borders are all even. I've overlapped the middle and I've just got florals showing on both sides. Okay, I'm going to give you a second to get that on. We are going to next pull in a circle from our die cuts. So find your die cuts once you can. And for mine, I chose the bright yellow one so that I could put a little bumblebee popping over to get some nectar. You can use whichever one, but if you want it to look like this, go ahead and find the one that has the big yellow flower. Of course, I cannot use that one because I have already used it, so I'm going to pick a different one. I'm going to pick this florally one. That one will do. Did I foam tape this? Of course I did. Same thing as we did before. Go ahead and add some foam tape onto your circle. Whether that be a scallop circle, those scallop circles from Tonic will work absolutely perfect. I think we still have a few in store. Or the lacy circle, both of which, I should remind you, both of which those dies are all discontinued, so don't wait. Okay, some foam tape. Oh, I love that holly green. And it looks like that. Now this is going to go right in the center, and I will pop it up. The reason I like to pop it up is whenever I have something like this, especially a scallop that I can see through, I want to create the shadowing. So if I just put it like that flat, what's going to happen is the paper is right up against it. If I lift it up, do you see how you get the shadowing happening? It's totally up to you, but it's what I prefer. So I am going to put some foam tape on the back of those circles. And then I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and it is going to cover up where they overlap, just like so. Okay, so you do not see where they overlap now. Perfect. As I said, these are pretty easy ones. Now on mine, because the original, I used the yellow flower that was on the left. I put a little bumblebee, just a little foam tape behind it. He's checking that out. I am going to use, let's see, how about this bumblebee for mine? Lots of bumblebees to choose from. I don't think you can go wrong. I'm going to put this bumblebee checking it out like that. He's going to come in on that side. Okay, go ahead and choose a greeting. Let's see, which one for this? I did happy birthday on that one. I think I'll do sending lots of love on this one. So whichever one you like. This one I made a happy birthday because I don't know about you guys, but I always need a birthday card. This one I'll do sending lots of love, which of course could be used as a birthday. And then I'm going to just put it hanging off the circle. So let me show you those. And you can see now that you have the kit open and in front of you that there are different yellows. There is a buttery yellow and a gold yellow. So with this one, because the circle, and of course it doesn't show so swell on the actual video, but I found that this gold matched that better. This gold really matched that better. It doesn't really matter, but if you are paying attention to that, there is a couple of different yellows. Now, I did mention gold gems, and these were just some gold gems I had in my stash. I'll be honest, I haven't even looked to see if we have them in the store, but we can certainly order them, and I know Courtney could too. These are green gems that are from Spellbinders, and I love their gems. So I'm going to bring in some of it. Now, if you have maybe went with gold or black, there is gold gems, and of course there is black gems. So you can definitely move them up. You can use whichever, but I love these gold gems. I can't remember what they're called color-wise, but they're just so pretty. Okay, and I just added a couple of gold gem or green gems on each side. Okay, that's card 2 done. We're going to whip through one more card. So you've got 3 cards done in an hour. How's that going? Is everybody doing okay? One more card. Let me know if we're good. Any questions, let me know. I'm going to clean up that space and I'll pull in card number 3. Now, we might also, just a little note, I know we did, I haven't looked recently, but I know we did have maybe about 5 crafty hours left for the next one. So if you have not picked up for Crafty Hour 60, which is a massive craft pad from Hunky Dory, I've already started playing with mine. If you haven't done that, please don't wait. It's going to be gone fast. Okay, so for this one, this is going to be the next one that we're going to do. And for this one, I said another A2 card. And this time I am using that gold foil from Hunky Dory. So we do have that. I had given you the measurements, 4 1/8 by, I don't know why I have an extra one. Oh, I was going to show you. That's what it looks like. We got the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then I also had you do, what is sold out, Janine? I'm not sure which is sold out. I had you do a square. Just one of the tonic scallop squares is totally fine. And then we also are going to do another circle. Now, you could have done this out of gold. You could do this out of green. You can do this out of whatever color. I don't have any black on this card, really, so I didn't want to use black on it, but either or. At ours, I'm pretty sure we still have some left. Just give us a phone call and we can tell you. It might be pulled off the website. Sometimes when we get close to being pulled off the web or close to being sold out, we remove it from the website because, as you can imagine, it wouldn't take long to sell out overnight, and we don't want to be in that predicament. Sometimes I don't trust our website. We can vouch for that. All right, so let's glue this gold on. This was all pre-cut as per your homework. We're going to put it onto an A2 card. Your A2 card can open from the side or from the top. Okay, this is a fairly quick card. Okay, we're just going to glue that. I use the gold foil. You can use whichever. And then you have this piece left over. Remember this piece? This was what we cut from card number 2. This was that wood piece. It was like this. Or like this, and I said put it off to the side because we're going to use it next. So this is the next piece I want us to use. Okay, it should still be on your desk fairly close. So 4 inches is what we're going to do. So we'll put it into our trimmer It right now measures 4 1/4. We're going to take it to 4 inches and cut off a little bit. So 4 inches. I can see a little bit of a paper print or glue or something on the bottom. I'm just going to snip off that bottom a little bit so that I don't have that. 4, and then we're going to take it by 5 1/4. And I'm going to cut off the top. So I'm going to take it to 5 1/4 and cut off the top. And then let's see, does it cover it up? Perfect. So go ahead and glue that right on, making sure that you can see that foil all the way around. Okay. And I'll give you a minute to catch up with that. Put that on, just like so. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute, and then we'll move on to the next one. I want to make sure I tell you the right paper, because yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, while you're still gluing, we're going to go back to this paper, and you might remember this one. We just cut this for the last card, and we're going to do the same thing this time with this border. I want to keep the green, okay? So go ahead and cut those pieces and keep the green with the plaid. So when you cut it, see how we want to have the green. That's going to be our border. Our border will be built in. And we're going to do it over here and attach. Can somebody tell me, because I don't have my homework listed here, a green circle. Yep, green is perfect. No, I did mention, I did comment on that. Green is totally perfect. It's totally cool to combine your foils. I wish I had done the green one, but I didn't bring any extra green. So green is totally fine, Dawn. Gold or green, they will work. You can mix and match those. Did I tell you, let me ask you this on the homework, did I tell you to cut a gold strip? I don't think I did, and we don't need to. So I'm just double checking. I don't want you to have extra pieces, but we don't need to. Okay, so hopefully you've got that cut green border on each side. We are going to trim it down again to 5 1/4. 5 1/4. So take it and go 5 1/4. 5 1/4. And that's going to give that green border all the way around. I did tell you gold, Kathy, is that what you're saying? I can't remember. I might have. I think I might have. Yep, perfect. Okay, mine I haven't done because I was cutting it from this. I wanted to show you the gold I used. So what you're going to do is exactly what you did before. I'm going to check my measurement. I'm going to cut a strip. I'm going to cut it a little bigger. You're going to glue it together and trim to make sure that it is the same length. I thought I did, I just couldn't remember. Mine is sitting at home on the dining room table, which is not a good place for your homework. Okay, so I just want a little border on the top and the bottom of the long sides. I both want them to be 5 1/4 long. I'm going to trim this up. It's a little too wide for my liking. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to foam tape this all the way down the right edge, about 1/4 inch in, and I am going to add foam tape. I do have a beautiful craft room or studio, as I like to call it. I do have a beautiful one, but when I was getting everything ready to bring to work, I threw it on the dining room table. And that's where it remains. I use my dining room table actually for kidding. because I am often doing a lot of class kitting. Anywhere from 150 is usually the minimum, up to about 400. So I do that on the dining room table. And then my craft room is my playroom. All right. So there we go. We have that about 1/4 inch in, and it is foam taped. All right. Now, you might remember this paper from card number 1. I had so many papers to play with, but I was trying to be aware of all the papers, so I didn't use all of them on you guys or on Courtney. So we're going to use this leftover piece. And we're going to cut a piece that fits inside your square. Now, you might have just used the plain scallop. I'm looking at mine. I used the one that has the stitching on it. These are now discontinued, and you can only get the ones that don't have the stitching. You guys need to look at yours and see which one you're using and measure it. If you want to use the one with the stitching, you might want to measure it at 3 inches. If you are using the one that doesn't have the stitching, it may be a little bit more. Maybe you're using a plain square that doesn't have any fancy stuff. So you measure the paper you have. Mine, I am going to cut at 3 by 3. It's going to be a square no matter how you do it. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this floral. I am not falling in love with this floral. I'm not worried about the butterflies. I am not going to see a lot of it, so I'm not worried whatsoever. I'm not going to give you an exact measurement because I want you to be aware of what you're doing. Maybe yours is going to be 3 1/4 and it's going to be 3 1/8. It's totally your choice. Okay, I'm going to glue mine on. Yesterday we were showing you the tonic, those original dies that are now gone. And I was telling you, make sure to get them because there's something that you will use all the time. So I'm going to glue that on. And again, I'm not falling in love with it. I'm not worried about whether there's a butterfly. As you can see from here, you are not going to see it. You're not going to, so I'm not worried. It's not going to matter. Okay. Now we're going to attach it like so on a diagonal, point to point tall. They will come over the edge ever so slightly. I am going to foam tape the left side. I am not foam taping the right side. So when I flip it over, I'm going to do it like that so that I can visually see where I need the foam tape. Okay, I need it right there. I don't want it to bump into the little plaid pattern there that I can see. That works. Oh, how are we doing? Ooh, I got like 3 minutes. I think we'll get done. Gonna put a little bit of glue on this side. I'm not going right to the point because the point's gonna hang over, so I don't need to. So foam tape, glue, flip it back. In the center, top to bottom. Well, no, you know what? We're gonna go a little closer to the top. A little closer. Maybe, yeah, that'll work. That way I can see that little butterfly because he's super cute. Not worried about my patterns because we're going to cover most of it. Okay. Now I'm going to keep going so that you guys are all aware of this anyway. Now the next one I'm going to use is the butterfly circle. So grab the butterfly circle if you want yours to look exactly like mine. I no longer have butterfly circle, so I am going to go with the bumblebee circle. Again, they'll all work. And this is what I'm trying to show you is that you can, of course, mix and match these. Oh, thank you, Jenny. Mix and match. I'm going to foam tape just like I've done every time. Foam tape my circle to my lacy. Oh my gosh, I love it. Flip it over. I'm going to foam tape it to the center of my diagonal. Okay, cut that. Put this on here. Now, one thing I like to do, and some people might be like, well, why? You've got the image. Paper Rose does a great job of having an image that is the same so that we can create that dimension. So you see when I put it on, I see the image below and I also see the image on top. So that's why I suggested to you guys to grab the butterfly one because that was my idea. We'll see if this bumblebee works for me. We'll make it work because that's how I roll. Okay. I am going to, it works. My bumblebee's going to look like it has 12 legs, but that's, oh, I wonder if this bumblebee's probably better. Maybe. You're going to find the matching butterfly for yours. Come on, let go. And you're going to put it on. Oh, I'm so glad, Sharon. You know, we just never know. And sometimes, you know, people will be like, oh, that works better. Now we don't have extra legs. Some people might be like, you know, I am not fond of yellow or I'm not fond of the butterflies, but I think in the end, I think most of you will be happy. It's always good to try something outside your comfort zone, which is again what Courtney and I try and do for both of us. You guys and even Courtney and I, we use things that we might not think about using. Okay, so we like to have, oh, thank you, Frida. We like to have that option, give you an idea. Now, on mine, I did the Hello Sunshine. I don't have any more, but because I used bees on my card, I'm going to do Be Kind. And I did it hanging off the edge. You know what? I think I'm going to put mine, yeah, because this one's long and skinny, I'm going to put it down off the side. But if you did Hello Sunshine, you can go ahead and put it in that spot. I'm going to put mine down here. I think that's kind of cute. Okay. There we go. Well, I'm glad you guys are loving the Paper Rose because Courtney and I will keep our eye out for more of the Paper Rose. And like I said, you have samples in there, but we try and give you things that are other than the samples so that you guys can get different looks, different ideas. And let me bring all the cards back in because all my cards now kind of look a little bit different. We have those two. We have those two. And we have those. And Courtney will be up tonight. Oh, did you? Yes, Lori. Gosh, that was a few years ago now that we were in the Hallmark movie. Yes, Love Under the Rainbow. It is as cheesy as any Hallmark movie. I am grateful that we are only half an hour in because I don't think I can watch much of that. Oh my gosh. All right, so have a look. I'm excited to see your cards in Crafty Hour. So when you are done with Courtney's cards tonight, you are going to have a lot left over. So anything that you make, we would love to see them. We hope that you share them with us. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., there's going to be a new Crafty Hour later today. I will post the event for that, but it's going to be same time, same place. 9 a.m. is always when we do them, 9 a.m. Pacific. We always do our Crafty Hours releases, so I hope that you join me for tomorrow morning. And thank you guys for joining me today. We'll see you all very soon. Don't forget, 5 o'clock Pacific time over on Courtney's page for her cards. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.